Hello, this is Henry Milloran. Following an extensive conversation with a former classmate. He sent me a text which I will quote, "Brother Henry, do you believe we are really leaning away from democracy towards autocracy?" Without any prejudices I said, let us first explore approaches by democratic president leaning in becoming an authoritarian or dictator. Most of the times, such president will start with the testing of every branch of government with strategies most of us never seen before. In a hypothetical scenario where a democratic president begins to lean toward authoritarianism, we can explore this through a series of strategic actions that test the limits of each branch of government, legislative, executive, and judicial. Carefully, I will provide you with examples of only 4 steps or scenarios, in addition of breaking down each step in 3 categories. First is tactic, second is strategy, third is result. A look at the overall background. Usually, a president elected on a platform of reform and unity, initially enjoys widespread support. However, over time, they become increasingly frustrated with the checks and balances that limit their power. First step is the manipulation of legislative branch. Tactic: the president starts to undermine the legislative branch by using executive orders to bypass Congress on significant issues, such as healthcare and immigration reform. Strategy: the administration might argue that urgent national crises justify these actions, claiming that Congress is too slow or ineffective to respond. Result: this approach creates a precedent for executive overreach, diminishing the power of the legislature and fostering a culture of compliance among lawmakers, some of whom may feel pressured to support the president to avoid political repercussions. Second step is eroding judicial independence. Tactic: the president attempts to influence the judicial branch by appointing judges who align with his ideology, prioritizing loyalty over legal qualifications. A reminder of the Supreme Court composition and some of their recent rulings. Strategy: the president might also publicly criticize judges who rule against his policies, framing them as political enemies and undermining their credibility. Result: this can lead to a chilling effect on judicial independence, as judges may fear losing their positions or facing public backlash, thereby discouraging them from making impartial decisions. Third step is controlling information and public opinion. Tactic: the administration begins to control narratives by targeting media outlets that criticize them, labeling them as fake news, and promoting alternative media that aligns with their views. Strategy: the president might implement policies that restrict funding for public broadcasting or use social media to disseminate propaganda, thereby shaping public perception. Attacking Ivy League schools in any way possible. Result: this creates an environment where dissenting voices are marginalized, and the public's access to unbiased information is limited, making it easier for the president to consolidate power without opposition. Fourth step is mobilizing support through populism. Tactic: the president cultivates a strong base of support by appealing directly to the public through rallies and social media, portraying themselves as a champion of the common people against a corrupt elite. Strategy: the president could exploit nationalistic sentiments and economic grievances, rallying supporters to pressure Congress and the judiciary to back his agenda. Result: this populist approach can polarize the nation, creating a us versus them mentality that further erodes democratic norms and encourages loyalty over critical engagement. And now, I am sure you can clearly see, as the president implementing these strategies, the delicate balance of power within the government begins to shift. With each successful maneuver, the president tests the resilience of democracy, leading to a gradual erosion of checks and balances. Citizens and officials who once stood firm in defense of democratic principles might find themselves in a precarious position, navigating a landscape where authoritarianism appears increasingly normalized. I choose these 4 steps as examples to illustrate how a democratic leader might methodically pursue authoritarianism, leveraging both political strategy and public sentiment to undermine democratic institutions. Thank you for your attention, and please share this video with others to give them an opportunity to understand the trend of what is going on. A reminder to subscribe to this channel if you have not done yet. Continue to be safe, smart, and strong. Stay tuned for our next video of past democratic elected presidents turned authoritarian.